Welcome on Texas football. I'm Bobby Burton, joined by Gerry Hamilton. In the aftermath of the 56-7 win over UTSA, there was a big issue at quarterback on Saturday night. Quinn Ewers, after a really great start, 14 of 16, 150 plus yards, 2 touchdowns, goes out with a strained abdomen. In comes talented sophomore Arch Manning, young man out of New Orleans that has had all of the promotion that you could possibly think of. And he answers the bell, Gerry. 5 touchdowns he's responsible for in 8 offensive possessions on Saturday night. What did you think of the young sophomore and what he did with his time behind center?
Well, I thought it's really interesting. The first play, the touchdown pass, we mentioned it on the postgame show. It's what Sark's called for Arch multiple times to get him comfortable when he comes in the game. The little bit of the roll right. He's very comfortable with that play, 19-yard touchdown. Then comes back the next time. It's a 2-play drive. He has a 67-yard touchdown where the analytics said he hit 20.7, for if you believe that. So he sent the house crazy, right? After that, Bobby, it became really good learning experiences for him the rest of the half. He got hit on a backside corner nickel blitz from UTSA, 2-minute drill kind of bogged down, took a sack. It's good to get hit and get sacked. It's good for some of those adversities to hit you the first time you play, so you have to respond to that. So I thought it went tremendously well at the start for him. Then he faced some adversity. Then they get in at halftime, and Sark and him him and A.J. Milwin and Arch talk about the plan with him as the guy. And then they come out, and Arch played really well after that. I mean, and as you would expect him to do, he was more comfortable, made some – the roll left throw to Wingo down the field, great catch, great throw and catch. I think most people say, that's a really good throw. That's a great throw. That's a hard throw to make. The throw to Cook in the back corner of the end zone on the right, on the south end of the stadium on the right back pylon was a tremendous throw. That might have actually been his best throw tonight. But you saw the athletic gifts. You saw the downfield arm. You saw the ability to be accurate on the move. Showed that mobility. Showed that Sark might actually have a little read game when Arch is in, which is a little different than what you'd expect. But I think the biggest thing for me wasn't the wow plays. It was that he actually had to face some adversity, get hit, go through a 2-minute drill. That's what makes these guys better the more they play.
There are a couple of plays in there that were wow plays. You mentioned the pass to Wingo. I thought the touchdown throw to Jonte Cook was just beautiful. Yes. But the throw to DeAndre Moore, it was just within the confines of the offense. The touchdown to Isaiah Bond, the same thing. Maybe one of the best plays, I actually think, in retrospect, was the first drive of the second half. Gerry, take me back to that. Because it was 3rd and 3. And it looked like after Texas had sputtered twice before with Arch after getting off to such a scintillating start, the third quarter, his very first possession, it was 3rd and 3, and it could have mushroomed. But he didn't let it. He could have had 3 straight, chances with no scores. Instead, he hits a quick ball to Matthew Golden, puts it right on him, very quick. Matthew Golden makes a nice run after the catch, and then Texas is off and running, and Arch Manning is off and running, not just with that series, but with the entire second half and every single time the Longhorns touch the ball.
Bobby, second half for him, he was incomplete, 20-yard pass to Golden, 51-yard pass to touchdown to Bond, 75-yard touchdown pass to Wingo, and then he had the 4-yard pass to Cook for a touchdown. That was his passing in the second half. So I mean, we can go through that real quick, but I believe that's 4 or 5 for 126, 4 or 5 for 150 and 3 touchdowns in the second half. That's a pretty good way to end his first game.
We heard from him in his post-game press conference. Matt, our producer, has that audio and video ready. Matt, please let folks hear from number 16, Arch Manning, in the post-game.
Arch, when you got the call, what was kind of the takes to the moment when you went in and fired that touchdown pass immediately? Were you nervous? What was kind of going on right away?
Obviously, you're a little nervous when you first get called in, but
think Sark drew up a first good play, and it was good to score on the first play, so it felt good.
So, Arch, everyone compares your athleticism to your grandfather. Clearly, Peyton and Eli and your dad taught you a lot about football. What did your grandfather teach you about football and maybe about life?
Yeah, well, my grandfather taught me, first off, just be a good guy. That's kind of his thing. He came to just about every practice in high school, so I guess you could say he's one of my biggest role models, and I've learned so much from him.
What's gone into your preparation for this moment when, at any point you could be playing the game? How do you prepare?
Yeah, Coach Milwee kind of instills that I got to prepare and be ready every week for when my number's called and help this team win games, and that's what I try to do tonight. Obviously, there's a lot to improve on and grow from, but I'm glad I got to get in there and get hit again and feel what it's like.
How did you make it so easy? 5 touchdowns in your first extended play.
Well, it helps when you have great players around you and good coaches. So, Isaiah Bond, Ryan Wingo, the O-line, they all played really well, and they make it a little bit easier for me.
Arch, can you talk about your connection with the receivers? It looked like you didn't miss a step. Obviously as a backup, it's hard to get connection with the receivers. Just talk about your rapport with those guys.
Yeah, I think since we have so much depth at receiver, I get to throw to some of them at practice, which is nice, and getting those reps for when it comes, for when our number's called.
If this had happened last year, like when you it's your third game on campus, do you think you would have been as comfortable as you look tonight?
Probably not, no. No. I would not have been as comfortable for sure.
Arch, when that ball was snapped, did you know you were going to take it to the house?
Well, when he bit on the back, I had a pretty good idea. I just had to make one move on the safety, and when adrenaline kicks in, it helps you run a little bit faster. But I credit that to Torrey Beckton, our head weight coach. He runs our tails off in the summer, so I think I've gotten a little bit faster since I've gotten on campus.
Follow up on that. How did you feel once you realized what you just did?
Felt good. Anytime you can get points on the board, help your team win games, it feels really good.
Jerry, clearly a young man that had a good game, feels good about his answer. I love what he said from his grandfather. Just be a good guy. That'll take you a long time. You also, I have to ask, his rapport with receivers. We talked about it in the post game. Brian Robeson mentioned it. Rod Babers mentioned it. CJ Vogel, his rapport with Ryan Wingo seems to be something that may be building.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about it. I mean, look, and what he said was so true because Texas has been rotating these receivers. We saw it early in the open practice or the media session we were at. He gets reps with the 1s and 2s because these guys have been – Matthew Golden was running with the 2s every day we had an open media window. So when he hits him on a slant, that's what he was doing in practice until Matthew Golden became a starter. So he's got really good rapport with all these guys. I thought here's my one takeaway from March. This is one I'm going to give the rest of the media some advice. You aren't going to get in with a gotcha question. No chance that's happening. You're not going to get the soundbite you're looking for.
I hate to do this, but the one thing that we got to do now, with Quinn maybe on the shelf for another week, maybe not. We don't know for sure yet. But we have to look forward a little bit. What does this mean for Louisiana Monroe? What does this mean for the rest of the season? Now it feels like Arch has really gotten his feet wet, at least in this game, so that as he takes on Louisiana Monroe next week, if that's indeed what happens, he's more prepared. What do you think it means for Arch Manning and the Texas Longhorns?
First, I want to say it sucks for Quinn. I mean, he's had some bad luck injuries in college football. These aren't like ACLs. These are like just late hits and just weird injuries, right? Bad luck injuries. But I say that to say this. This could be one of those blessing in disguise situations because if Quinn doesn't play next week, and Quinn's QB1, when he comes back, he will be the starter. If he doesn't play, this is invaluable experience for Arch Manning because he prepares all week with the game plan, and him and Sark prepare a game plan for him against an opponent. Not when he has to come in midway through the first quarter when Quinn gets hurt. That's a totally different ball game when you're sitting in the QB room and you're sitting in there with Sark and Milwee, and they're making a game plan with you for an opponent. That's invaluable experience. It could be a blessing in disguise situation for this Texas team because Quinn will come back. He'll be QB1. But if Arch gets a start under his belt, I don't care who the competition is, that greatly helps this team if Quinn goes down in SEC play. Because just look how many quarterbacks got hurt today in college football. This is a opportunity. This could be a blessing in disguise for Texas right here.
Yeah, as a team. Quinn, by the way, his stats were highly impressive.
Yes.
Today, 14 of 16 for 185, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. It looked like it was either a miscommunication or something with his thumb, maybe.
I think. See, I'm going to chalk that up to his thumb. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt here. He couldn't give anybody a high five coming off the field after a touchdown. His thumb was obviously bothering him. I'm going to chalk that interception up to maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was a late read. Maybe his feet were a little slow to move on that play, but I'm still going to chalk that up to his thumb.
All right. Arch Manning, by the way, finishes 9 of 12 for 223 yards, 4 touchdowns throwing, 1 rushing on the night as well. It's going to be interesting what happens next week. We'll be waiting to see the results of Quinn Ewers' injuries, see how long this takes to heal, or if it's something that could heal within a week, and they were just being precautionary. Jerry, don't forget about that. They were already up 21-7 or 14-0 and driving.
Yeah.
When Arch Manning actually came into the game, so the game was already clearly was going to be in hand for the Longhorns. Maybe it was just precautionary for Texas. We'll see what happens. But what a scintillating performance from Arch Manning. We mentioned 24 plays. Offensive plays that he was a part of. Texas scored 5 touchdowns.
Can I add one more thing, Bobby, that I should have said earlier? He stood in the pocket and took a hit on the deep ball to Wingo. He made touch throw to Jonte Cook. He made the throws on the move, going left and right. Then he hit Matthew Golden on a 3rd down slant. You can't ask much more from a quarterback getting his first true real action in college football. He got his feet wet a couple times, but this is his first real action. He showed a total package, and that should have people excited for the future.
All right, good stuff. All right, we'll have more tomorrow in rapid reactions as well as offensive and defensive grades for Gerry Hamilton. I'm Bobby Burton. A big night for Arch Manning, one of his best, clearly his best so far as a Longhorn.